Welcome to Quark's Bar, everyone. All sales are final. We do not offer refunds. Keep your hands off my Dabo girls. And if Morn is here, buy him a drink. Hello, everyone who is here. Great to see you. Great to be here. Great to have this awesome panel of people. I've got the awesome, the malleable, the just great guy, Captain Trek. How you doing, sir?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm
Doing all
doing
right
good.
here. What about you?
And then, of course, oh, I'm doing good. And then on my bottom here, folks, I have the man who, he has a talent for making people, SJWs, cry on Twitter. And I'm pretty sure he mops the floors with with their tears. Jack Beers.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Darth Haster, I agree so heartily. I need a drink. In fact, I am drinking right now. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of go about this way. I'm gonna say what I thought about the show, and then Captain Trek, you talk about yours, and then Jack, you talk about yours. But I've got to be honest. Back in the Marine Corps, I watched both episodes today. I was sitting down, I was sitting over here on my bed, I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, we had a saying in the Marine Corps when we had a bad day. It was called I got fucked in the ass with a sandpaper condom. I gotta be honest, I
Ouch.
really, really would have preferred getting fucked in the ass with a sandpaper condom versus watching an hour of this shit, because at least then I knew getting fucked in the ass, I'd at least it'd be over sooner. That's
Ouch.
how fucking bad I thought these two episodes were. And folks, I've got a little bit here to talk about. I'm just like, oh God. This is horrible. This is garbage. This is trash. This is not This is not Simpson funny. It's not Family Guy funny. It's not American Dad funny. It's not Cleveland Show funny. It's not Beavis and Butthead funny. It's not Ren and Snippy funny. It's not even SpongeBob funny.
It's not even
It's
Rick and
not
Morty funny.
funny. I'm sorry. I want it to be fucking funny. I want to enjoy the show. I really would like some humor, but I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, whoever is writing the comedy for this, these fuckers need to be fired, replaced, recast. I don't care what I'm telling. I can't believe we have comedy actors who are in this show and they're writing the scripts and they're like, they don't come up and say, I don't think that's funny. I don't think that's humorous. Because I'm gonna tell you what, first episode, I smirked. Second episode, I giggled. Third episode, I laughed for all 2 minutes. Fourth episode, nothing. Fifth, sixth, not a fucking thing. This show sucks. It is painful to even remotely watch. And with that, Captain Trek, give me your thoughts.
Oh Lord. Okay. Let me put it to you this way. I utterly hated the fifth one. Utterly hated. The sixth one. I was so bored by. It was just like I don't care. It's just bad. It's just bad. And that Badgie character. No, thank you. It's a bad show.
Reminded me like a bad tally from South Park.
Well, I know what they were trying to do. Seems kind of stupid, but obviously they were trying to do Clippy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like Not even clipping
You'll have to
is
help
that
me out here.
stupid.
Who's Clippy?
It's from Microsoft.
Oh, yep.
Microsoft Word. Back in the day, there when you would open up Word, there would be a little application that would pop up. It's a little paperclip, pop up and be like, "It looks like you're
Oh,
trying to write
okay.
a."
Now, okay, gotcha.
That
Now I
that's
know
what
what
they
you're
were.
talking.
That's what they were going for.
Yep.
Is that what you were talking about, Captain Trek?
Yes, it was.
Okay, no, I understand that completely.
And it was another failure. In fact, the only thing enjoyable about that was when what's his name? I don't remember names of the characters. They don't matter. Um, Kicked the character in where would have been the groin, and the eyes turn red. It's like, oh, okay, that's how it starts. Because I thought, yep, he's gonna go bad. Didn't know how, didn't know when, but yeah, as soon as he got kicked, it's like, oh yeah, eyes went red, and okay, bad guy comes out.
All right,
Kind of
Jack.
pointless.
Yeah, I would agree. Jack, give us your thoughts on these two episodes before we dive
Um,
into the details.
I just wanted to throw tribbles at it all day. Just wanted to throw tribbles at it. Um, you know, it's predictable. It's become predictable. You know, they think that chaos is comedy. They think that member berries are comedy. These people don't know how to write comedy. Uh, they don't know. Like I wish they I wish they would have just taken themselves more seriously instead of actually trying to make this into a comedy because they don't know how to write comedy. I mean, I will say that it's better than Picard and Discovery in that Picard and Discovery sound pretentious in their writing. A lot of the dialogue sounds pretentious. Sounds like people who are not very smart trying to write for smart characters, and it shows. This one, they're not trying to do that. They're just being dumb. They're just being as dumb as possible. And it's like going from one extreme to another. I hated Badgie. I
Oh
thought it was,
God,
as I said, it was predictable. The moment you saw Badgie and you saw him all cute and stuff like that at first, you knew he was
you
going to
knew
turn
he.
bad.
Yeah.
You knew he was going to turn bad. Um, you know, uh, the episode before where Boimler has a girlfriend, and Mariner is just swears that like that it's a human, it's not a human or whatever. Eventually they um, they just suck. it's just they just suck. It's predictable. You knew that they were going to find something, either that she was actually an alien, or that there was some sort of parasite or something like that. That's what happened. There was a parasite. It was just on Boimler. So I mean that was predictable. Um, the one from the last episode. What's that guy's name? Fletcher, the character they brought in, Fletcher. Um, you knew he stole that core. You knew he stole that core. Just the way he was acting, the way they were trying to portray him in the beginning as like a peacemaker and stuff like that. You knew he was behind that. Um,
Actually, I was so damn bored that I didn't even bother to catch that because I'm like, I don't fucking care.
yeah, it was dumb anyways. Like it started off at a concert, like a Chi Chi concert or something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, choo choo concert or
Chi
some
Chi.
shit.
Oh yes.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's break into this. The whole episode starts out with the captain of the Cerritos on the meeting the captain of whatever fucking starship it was. I don't fucking remember. Was it the Venture?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And it's a pissing contest because you're like,
Mhm.
maybe one day you'll be in command. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? this is not how rank works.
Nope.
This is not how that works. This is just, like, oh, well, my dick's better than yours, even though you're both fucking women. Oh, and then, of course, I got the next one here. The fake news rip when they were in that meeting and they were like, oh, it was this people who did
Oh, and
this.
they
And I
said
was like,
fake news.
yeah. There was the fake news rip. Oh my god, they even dropped Captain Picard Day. How would they even know about that? That was on the fucking Enterprise, for
That
fuck's
was just
sake.
the Enterprise. Yeah, that was just on the Enterprise. That wasn't a that wasn't the national holiday.
No.
Not like First Contact Day would be. By the way, um, the pathetic attempt that they had at Star Trek Day. Um, you know,
Oh god.
I looked it up. I went to their website. What all it was it was trying to get you to either buy merch or subscribe to CBS All Access, which by the way is going to be changing soon. Um, but they had this ugly ass. I think I posted. They had this ugly ass towel that said Star Trek, brown towel that said Star Trek Day. They were selling it for $50. $50. That's crazy. By the way, that was my friend.
Hello.
She says hello.
No, I'm respectful. I want to say hello to the nice.
This
Hello,
is Lorraine.
hello, young lady. Oh,
This
you're
is Jesse. And
gorgeous.
that's Captain Trek.
Hi, Captain
Wow.
Trent.
Wow, you are gorgeous.
She says you're gorgeous.
Oh, hello. Who said that?
That one.
Actually,
Thank
we
you.
both agree. To
You're
this.
you're very
They both
welcome.
agree.
Damn, you got yourself some hot Latino beauty there.
Oh, that's a friend.
A friend.
Now
Well, you can
they're looking
still
at me like
appreciate.
bullshit.
You can still appreciate the beauty.
Exactly, I would agree. Yeah, Captain Trek, I would agree with that.
But anyways, I wanted to get back to the Star Trek. One of the things that I realized was that when it comes to their captain, she's too on the nose with her intentions. She is way too on the nose. At one point, that one ship is throwing garbage at it, and it's like draining their shields, and she's shields are like 40%, and she goes, "We have to find a way to end this peacefully. We're Starfleet, damn it!" It was like way too on the nose. Way
Yeah.
too on the nose.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah. Way too much cussing. I think I got that. Yeah.
and
I mean, they
and then
said "goddamn" in the fucking Star Trek, and then they bleeped out the F's and the shit. But I mean, it was all there, and it was like, what the fuck are you trying to do here?
I don't know what they were trying to do with that one because like she was too on the nose with that, and then they wait until the shields are completely depleted before even considering firing back, and then by then, of course, the weapons are going to be down. Like I was actually like, oh, that's a good detail. Thank you for at least you know
I
you know.
agree.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they did that at least, and they found it. Eventually, they found another way to solve the problem. But and then after,
They got lucky. They
I
got
don't know what to
lucky.
think about. I don't know what to think about the security chief. I like him, but like they exaggerate him a little too much. I think like they like he really wants to like kill people and stuff like that. I don't see Starfleet people like that. Starfleet people aren't like that. At least real Star Trek. They don't want to go to battle. They don't want to kill people. They'll do it for to save themselves or whatever, but they're not itching at the belt. You know what I mean? They don't have trigger fingers like that guy kind of has. But I do like his character a little bit. Something about it, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He's
he
Bajoran.
has
He's
his
not. He's not
moments, but he's
Klingon.
so over the top. Captain Trek, go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm just gonna say he's supposed to be Bajoran, isn't he?
Yes, I
Yes.
think so.
But he comes more across like a Klingon.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Good point. Real good point. He comes off more as a Klingon because that's what Worf used to do. Worf used to be
Exactly.
like, yeah, he used to be like, let me take care of him, sir, and they'd be like, no, stand back, stand down, whatever.
But Worf, I can understand. He's a Klingon. This
Hmm.
guy is a Bajoran. They were under Cardassian rule for decades, but
But they weren't a warring nation.
no.
No,
No, they were
they rebelled
warriors.
against
They
the
were
Cardassians.
well, we don't know if this character was part of the Resistance, which would be a terrorist organization, but we don't know that. Same with, he's kind of like they're like trying to do a carbon copy of Rolaren, and they're doing it really piss poor.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I am glad that they have like a diversity of characters and aliens and stuff like that. Where you can have a Bajoran security chief. I think that's fine. I just wish they would like calm them down a little bit. Maybe make them a little more spiritual, like a Bajoran would be.
So I have a question here because when I wrote this stuff down, I was like, okay, we know she's been demoted.
Mm.
What's her name? I can't really remember anybody's name in the show.
There's
But
Mariner, who's the main
Mariner,
character.
yeah,
Okay.
she was demoted, but she said the Enterprise D, she was in that conversation about the Enterprise D and
Hmm.
how Data had a twin brother. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that was like 10, 12 years ago. I'm like thinking, how long have you been in Starfleet and you're a fucking still ensign?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna call that shit out.
Yeah. No, it's definitely dumb. It's definitely dumb. Another thing was uh, Fletcher. Uh, like you knew he took that core. You knew that he knocked himself out or something like that. I didn't know that he tried to make himself smarter with it or whatever the hell he did. But that was pretty predictable. The way he was acting, they made it very obvious. He kept making up excuses. He kept finding people to blame. First it was the night shift, then it was, the aliens that were attacking them. Then he was like, "Oh, let's pretend it was a Q," you know, like And
Oh
by the
my
way,
god.
apparently in a future episode they will have John Delancey reprising Q. I don't know how that's going to work.
He must need a paycheck.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, how do you get
Oh.
fired from Starfleet? Because that guy got fired in the end, he said.
Yeah, and that makes no sense. Because he went from lieutenant to fucking ensign. He's like, I got fired, and it was like, that's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works at all. You get discharged. You can
Yeah.
get discharged, but that's like, that's different.
What about that whole T-88 thing? Give me a break. They're sitting there scanning shit. They're sitting there using a little scanning freaking thing. Oh my god.
Well, at least it's better than a phaser. They're using phaser to clean off graffiti.
And then we get to the final scene where, it's talking about sex and, Mariner or whatever the fuck her name is, I don't fucking remember. I couldn't care less. Is fighting the lieutenant and then they bond. I said, no.
No,
Men do this. Women don't do this. I have seen men fight. I have been in fights with men. We
I was
tend
like,
to
kick her ass,
bond.
kick her ass.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way these two would have suddenly bonded. And then it turns out he has a parasite that makes him irresistible. I'm like, then why was she bitching at him halfway through the show when he was jealous about the black guy? I
Right,
said
exactly.
black guy because I can't remember his fucking name.
I don't remember his name either. It was like one of their friends or whatever. Oh no, she dated him previously,
Yeah.
and so Boimler was jealous or whatever.
Yeah, but if that parasite was supposed to make him irresistible, why did she get pissed at him during the episode?
I don't know.
You know,
I thought the dumbest thing about that episode is when Mariner pantsed her, thinking that she had a tail.
Oh my god, that was so fucked up.
Well,
Where's the tail? Where's the tail? I'm like,
for this. I'll give them credit for this. At least they didn't have her without pants on, without panties on.
oh, thank God for some things.
Well, they would have just put a black bar over it like they did
Exactly.
Boimler. Yeah, that's all. Or no, if it was just the butt, they would show the butt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did anybody notice? Did you guys notice they ripped off Star Trek? Or sorry, they ripped off Star Wars.
They always seem to rip off like Star Wars. I mean, they make
With
this
the
more about
transfers
action
in.
now.
Who is it? Is like Mariner Gamma 3, and it's like, who is this? What is like? Did you just really rip off Star Wars? You fuckers. I'm like, oh my god. I wanted to. Oh my god, I wanted to turn the damn show off and call it a day, and then I was like, fuck, I gotta watch the other one. And my wife came in, she goes, are you still watching it? I said, unfortunately, she goes, I'm sorry.
No, about that
and it's less
about that TA
no, go ahead,
gate.
Go ahead, Captain Trek.
Okay, this device is supposed to be used for one thing, is what it appears like. Why are these officers having these fantasies of using it all over the ship and taking it back and winning it for their department? It's like, winning it? What?
Yeah, it
Like
didn't
I
make
can't
any sense.
replicate the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, let's not even forget the fact that the fucking ensigns were smacking and violating a lieutenant commander.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as
Yes. Yes.
somebody who was
That's
enlisted,
the Keaton, right?
that's not something you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That you're talking about the beginning of the scene where Mariner and the K-team go at it. The cat lady, right? She's like, oh
yeah, the commander, the fucking doctor, the chief medical officer, and she just bitch slaps her, and somebody bitch slaps the lieutenant commander on the I think it was the Venture, because of, oh, I'm gonna transfer you. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, you're telling me this is how a transfer works. I'm like, oh god.
it's not.
This guy does not get to decide this. He's lieutenant commander. That shit happens at the I'm gonna say this. The Falcon level, Eagle level, which is colonel or captain, and that's it. So the only person in here who could transfer them is Captain Trek.
Can we transfer them out the airlock?
That's a good idea.
I would totally support that. I mean, there was so much. I thought that episode was bad enough, and then I got to the second episode, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, F-bombs, Voyager, Enterprise at Warp 4. I was like, what the hell are you even trying to do?
And then when the commander, I can't remember his name, when the Ransom, when the commander comes in and he's like, oh, there's something crazy going on, the one person he tackles is Boimler. Doesn't tackle Mariner, doesn't tackle Tendi, doesn't tackle Rutherford, doesn't tackle what the other guy, I can't remember his name, Fletcher.
Yeah, he didn't tackle the person who was actually the fucking problem.
They always have to embarrass Boimler somehow. In every episode, they have to find a way to embarrass Boimler.
Well, they even went all this way. They were like, this whole episode was Mariner is like, there's no way that this chick would like you.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, really? This
yeah, that was
is?
dumb too.
I mean, she
I mean,
is like, there is no way this person should like you. You don't, she basically was like, you are not on her level. And which, granted, as men, we understand that. We know what our level with men is, but come on. Oh my God, she was trying to just break up the relationship, and guess what? She fucking did it. Yeah, he had some stupid succubus on his head that was supposed to make him irresistible, which makes no fucking sense because she was pissed at him at times in the show. So
mhm.
no, I'm calling bullshit on that.
By the way, that
Chemtress, what
Jack.
do you think?
Oh, God.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that that outfit he wore to try and impress her was terrible.
Oh my God. Who the hell came up with that? That was right out of the 80s. Ugh.
It
No,
reminded.
that was even worse. It was a crossbred of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Marty McFly in 2015.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Yeah, Trek, I'm sorry you are watching the shit because oh God. Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh, I love this part. Uh, Mariner says, I only break the stupid rules that shouldn't be there. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's okay.
Of
Now,
course, because, yeah, stupid rules. Hmm.
now there's reasons for those rules, though. I mean, it's one of the things she doesn't get, like one of the things that like New Trek doesn't get, is military regulations.
Mhm.
How chain of command, how all that, uh, how a captain is supposed to be treated. Um, you know, I mean, because you see, like, even going back all the way back to Discovery, they brought out Pike, and that's probably the best part of Discovery was Captain Pike. At least the actor did a good job playing him, but nobody followed his orders. You know, Michael Burnham would, you would tell Michael Burnham, "Don't do this. That's an order," and Michael Burnham would be like, "I'm going to do it anyways," and Pike would be like, he would just let it go. And in the actual military, I know technically Starfleet is not the military, but it's a military like organization that goes by a similar structure.
Hmm.
So, and you see, and they even show you in certain episodes how they do that. So that's one of the disappointments about New Trek is, you know, like, I keep watching the New Trek stuff, and I'd be like, they would never accept this, they would never accept that, they would never accept this, they would never accept that. At the end, when the Bajoran guy kissed the Katian lady, after they blew up that one ship or whatever, oh, I don't know how we did it, but we did it, and then he kisses the cat lady. I was like, that's a court martial.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's a court martial offense. Fuck that. I mean, how many court martial offenses did we see in these last two episodes?
oh,
Oh my
geez.
God. Jeez. Do I want to go through my notes here? Let's see.
Some
F
some of them would be
bombs.
captain's masts.
Let's see. We smack a superior officer. We steal from a superior officer. We steal from another ship. I mean,
Hmm.
we're getting into episode 6, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst part. Downtown saying we're going downtown in the 24th century. they were using modern references that are like, no, this is not how Star Trek works. You don't use modern references in the future.
And they date, that's how they date themselves too, because when they start using those modern references, 20, 30 years from now, when you're watching those episodes, it's gonna feel like an episode from 2020. Whereas when you watch TNG, they're kind of timeless. They could have been filmed at any time.
Well, see, that's if you go back to the original series, the worst episodes really, among them, are the hippie ones
Mhm.
because it's obviously 60s. That dates the
Right.
series. But those are
And
episodes. That isn't the entire series. If they'd done that with the series like they're doing with this stuff, no. It wouldn't have flown anywhere. Wouldn't be on now.
and one of the things I've noticed that people do to always defend, they always defend it by saying, "Oh, it's happened before." Now, here's the thing: we can all agree that not everything in classic Trek was great, right?
Right.
So, so that's fine. They make a mistake. They don't go back to the code of honor. They did that episode. It happened, and they realized, okay, let's not do any more episodes like that because they weren't good. And because of that, the episodes, the show improved, and eventually by the third season, TNG was on the ball. Um, it doesn't feel that way with these episodes, with these new Trek. It feels
They
like what they're
were
doing is,
dropping F bombs and damns and shit. And yeah,
it feels like,
I know they're bleeping them out, but I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yes, I cuss like a motherfucker. I'm a Marine. I fucking cuss. I don't want that in my Star Trek. And I'm like watching this episode, and I'm literally like, this chick is pissed because this guy is getting laid. I mean, that is the whole fucking episode. She is pissed that this guy is getting laid and it's not by her. Which I'm sorry to say, but come on. I wouldn't fuck that bitch.
Not with our attitude, no.
Oh, fuck no. God dang. Couldn't believe it. And then I had to make the worst choice and I had to watch the next episode. And let's
well,
see, how did I start it? No, that's the wrong one. Oh, yeah, they made that whole thing about the Enterprise D at Warp 4. I'm like, it's Stardate 57 something, so the Enterprise has probably been destroyed for quite a few years, so how the fuck would you know that shit?
well,
And then they even threw a Voyager in there.
yeah, you know what they do? Like, yeah, as I said, like the way they defend it, they're like, oh, well, it's happened before. Like, oh, you don't like the violence? Well, it's happened before, and then they show you like a couple of screen caps of like someone getting their head vaporized off or something like that, and then you got to ask them, when else did they do that? And they're like, that's the only time. I was like, there's a reason why they only did it one time, right? It's because people didn't like that. So they decided to move away from that. What you're doing is you're taking the worst aspects of the greatest franchise in history and you're expanding on those, and you're turning it into garbage now because you're turning it into garbage because, oh, Deanna Troy, they once turned Deanna Troy into a cake. So it's fine to make something like Badgie. You know what I mean? That's kind of like their logic.
Yeah, but turning Deanna Troy into a cake was an actual dream of
Yes.
Data's.
Yes,
So
but they
yeah,
don't
I'm
care. Like,
old enough to remember that shit.
they don't care though. They'll just show you the screenshot and they'll be like, "Oh, it's happened before." It's nothing new.
Oh yeah, it's happened before. Well, tell me where in Star Trek we saw this much blood and gore.
No, we didn't. And then
We
what they'll show
saw
you.
this little fucking this little fucking delta, killing people. Yeah, granted they were simulation, but still, it's like, what the fuck did I just walk into? It's nothing like when intelligent wise where when it was a Sherlock Holmes episode where Jordy made the mistake of saying capable
Mhm.
of defeating Data, and he made
Instead
the
of
point of
Sherlock
saying
Holmes.
Data, not Sherlock Holmes, Data.
Mhm.
And Data is artificial intelligence, and the computer program probably understood that and tried to do that way. This is just garbage. I fucking hate it.
Oh, here's a challenge. I have a challenge.
Okay.
Okay. What do we like about the show?
Nothing. Me?
Captain?
Not a
It
damn
doesn't
thing.
last
Cap Track.
under a half hour. It doesn't last longer than a half hour.
That's a good thing. I will say I like the Katian lady, the doctor, the lieutenant commander. I like that character. She kind of reminds me of Bones a little bit, but not. But they're not making it obvious. She's not saying "Damn it, I'm a doctor." You know what I mean? But her mannerisms kind of remind me of Bones a little bit. So
Oh, well,
that's one
that's
thing I like
interesting.
about it.
Well,
She,
that's
other
interesting.
and they
I
haven't messed her
actually
character
thought
up yet.
no. I was gonna say was I am actually surprised by that because I actually find her more Pulaski.
Okay, yeah, I could see Pulaski too. I can definitely see Pulaski.
Well,
Although I wasn't a
potentially,
big fan of Pulaski.
since
Well,
with
nobody
Pulaski, they
was.
were going for a Bones in female form. But the thing I didn't like about her had to do with the one episode where they were doing the
Oh
buffer
yes.
time, where she didn't know how long it took to uh, re whatever the bio bed. And it's like you want to. She should know it's her position. She should know how long it takes to do the work on the equipment in the sick bay.
Right. That was one of the dumb things about that episode was okay, like now they're gonna regulate how much time you have to do something. Of course it's gonna fall apart. Um, but was their solution was just as ridiculous. I
Yeah,
mean, they went from one extreme to another once
yeah,
again. Instead of
and
No,
that's why
instead
I
of saying
lost
they
respect for
no,
the character.
they went from like you know whatever their shifts were. Alpha Delta, I think was what it was. I don't remember. Beta Delta, I don't fucking remember. But they went in and accused them. They're like, dude, we were at the same party you were. It's like, no fucking shit. You should have realized that. They talked about it and it's like, oh yeah, they weren't the people who did this. And yeah, the dude was a fucking liar. And, but he was always a liar. I mean, he was a liar
Mhm,
throughout the whole fucking and it was
mhm.
like they lied. And the moral story is Mirner lies so he can get promoted to lieutenant, not lieutenant junior grade. Fucking full lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, they don't know what rank is. Once again, I mean, they did the same thing when they promoted Mariner.
Yep,
They made her a lieutenant instead of a junior grade.
yep.
And then he's like, I got fired. It's like, no, you got demoted, you dumb shit.
Well,
Uh,
at the end, they do say that he's Earth's problem now. So I do think he probably got demoted to ensign, and he's probably getting the fuck out. Probably going to go on a ship and go back to Earth.
but they're like,
Well, I,
he's
I will give
Earth's.
them credit for this. They did that with Picard and what's her face. So at least they're stupidly consistent.
I mean, yeah, they're consistent. They're consistent in some ways. That's what I kind of like. That's why I kind of think it's better than Discovery and Picard is because, they do put more effort into detail, but they don't know what comedy is. They don't know. They think chaos and member berries are comedy. They think that if you put enough references in one sentence, they're gonna laugh. Or they're
Yeah,
gonna be
for
like,
God's
"Oh, I know
sakes,
what that
they mentioned
means."
that. Remember when that idiot said, "Just say a Q did it." I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh God." I wanted to lose my shit, and I wanted to take my other computer and just throw it at the fucking board, throw it at, and be like, "You
that
really are gonna
that's why
go
I
there?"
that's why I have tribbles. I can throw them out the screen all day and I don't break nothing. Right?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I fucking hate this Star Trek. I hate it more than I hate uh Star Trek Discovery. I hate it more than Star Trek Picard. I think that this could have been something funny, could have been something enjoyable, and it's not. And I'm sorry, but I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, I fucking hate this shit. I hate these characters. I have no love for anybody. I don't even know anybody. Mariner is maybe the only name I know. What is the other guy's name? Was it Boromir? No,
It's
Boromir was from
Boimler.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Boromir was
it's
Lord of the
Boimler.
Rings. Yeah. And it's just if you were gonna make this a parody, uh did they have failed. I mean,
Mhm.
this is an epic fail of making a comedy of Star Trek. And I hate it. I
I'm
Jack,
trying
if
to
I
figure
hadn't
out.
Jack,
I'm trying to
Captain,
figure.
if I
Okay.
had not committed to watching all 10 episodes, I would stop right now. Because, oh my God, I don't want to watch this fucking shit anymore. And I swear to God, I'm like, I don't want to ever watch 2 episodes again.
What is Badgie made out of? Like what is his? Is he like a shiny gold material? If he is, why does he sweat? And like
Oh,
when
you
when
mentioned that. Yeah.
and when Rutherford punched him, like he bled. So why does he bleed? Like I don't get, what is he made out of? Like I don't get it.
He's
It gets
hollow
tired.
projector.
How does it get
He's a
tired?
fucking hollow projector.
Yeah, how does a hollow projector get tired and
How does the
freeze? I
hollow
don't know.
projector go evil? I mean, without some scientific thing to back it up. This was
I
just
the moment
a
the
simple.
moment he kicked him, the moment he kicked the badge, I knew it was going to go bad. It was going to go bad. I mean, like I was confirmed. Like I knew as soon as you saw it, but then once he kicked it, I was like, yeah, this is the direction they're going. And of course, you saw its face. The eyes turned red and everything. And all of a sudden the safety protocols are turned off, and then he
Of
starts.
course.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then he bites like a piece of his suit off, his space suit off, and it starts to vent. So he changes it to a Bajoran temple of some sort. And then the next thing you see is Badgie slaughtering people with its bare hands. It's like, what the fuck is this thing made out of?
No, what really pissed me off is like, the end where it's like, father, son. I'm like, he's a fucking program. He's not your child. He's not like that. You
I
are.
I, I,
And
I could
then
I
it
could
was,
see
oh God.
I could see the program seeing Rutherford as father. I don't see Rutherford calling him son, but he did call him son once. It was like I didn't do that. Like it's like no, I just programmed you. I don't think I'm your father.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't come in a computer. Call me wrong here.
I don't know. I mean, like Rutherford, he seems to really love like doing diagnostics and stuff like that. and he seems to like Tendi too. I'm pretty sure he has a crush on her. He keeps
Oh
trying to
yeah,
impress her.
thank.
He keeps trying to impress her. Tendi seems like she's too happy-go-lucky to figure it out. You know what I
What
mean?
is it? Where do these people even work? I mean, when do we actually see them work in their
Tendi is
fucking units?
Tendi is supposed to work in sick bay. I hardly see her in sick
Yeah,
bay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see Rutherford doing his job like a lot. Actually, like he does do a job. Mariner, I don't know what the fuck she does. Same with Boimler.
yeah.
They
I've been
seem to have
trying to
like
figure out those two.
random.
They're like all Mariner does is give Bear Mirror shit. And
Yeah,
I'm like, are you just that big of a
and then
cunt? And
and then
I'm gonna be
and then
honest with
he
you.
seems to like it.
They
He
make
seems
their
to like it.
yeah, well, maybe he's a sadomasochist. Who the hell knows? I'm just like I cannot figure this show out. And I kind of go that Brie Larson thing where she's like, "Well, this wasn't meant for you." Well, I've been a Star Trek fan since I was 6 freaking years old. That's 33 years from now. So if
And
this
by the way,
show ain't
you could
made for
not show
me,
this to a 6-year-old. You could not
No.
show Lower
No.
Decks to a 6-year-old nowadays. No, you could show real
oh
Star
hell
Trek,
no.
but not
Oh
but not
hell
this
no.
stuff.
Oh hell no. Captain Trek actually my wife actually asked me if I wanted to let my son watch it. I said hell no.
No.
I said
No way.
he can watch the Orville all day of the week, twice on Sunday. He can watch any of Star Trek's that I have. And I got a
Mhm.
shit ton behind me. But there's no fucking way I'm going to introduce him to this.
Hey, I
Not a
thought of a
chance in
way.
hell.
I thought of a way you could remember the character names. Call her Marinade and him Soy Boy.
I like that. I like that. Yes. Captain Trek, we're
That's a good one.
using that for now. We're using that for now. Marinade and Soy Boy. Because, yeah, that is the case. This dude
Mariners
is a
marinade.
beta bitch. I mean,
Yeah,
he's a beta bitch.
Yep.
yeah. He seems to like uh, Mariner's torture, especially in the end, when they're like, "Oh, we seem to get along at the this last episode. We seem to get along when we're not." Blah 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 blah. Oh, you might break the rules, but like you just break little rules. In your heart, you're Starfleet. It's like,
No, she's not.
no,
She's
she
so
doesn't
far
give a
from
fuck about
Starfleet,
Starfleet.
it's
She
unreal.
does not care about
The
Starfleet.
only
She has
reason
no respect for authority.
well, we all know the only reason she's still in Starfleet even after being demoted is that her dad's an admiral and her mom is a captain. That is it. Rank has its privileges, and those of us who've been in the military know how that shit works. It's not what you know, it's who you know. This
Yep.
bitch, this bitch, and I'm gonna call her that, bitch, has no business being in Starfleet. Because she's like, oh, I only break the stupid rules. That's not how it works, you fucking cunt.
I find
And
it funny because yes, in Star Trek they broke rules, but there was a reason.
There was reasons. Thank you. It wasn't just
Like
because they thought they were stupid.
exactly. I mean, there was the one time where they had the whatever quantum string, where mm, what's her face, the Bajoran chick, um, rerouted power from the
Kira
bridge
or
to
Ro?
engineering.
Right.
Laren rerouted
Yeah.
a bridge power to engineering so they could go to that one station. That was not recommended. It was totally against regulations how to do it, but they were trying to save the ship. It's like there's
Because they ran into a quantum filament.
quantum filament, but
Yeah.
again, it was the only way to save the ship.
Right.
This shit they're putting out isn't even anywhere near that. It's just like
Oh, for God's
convenient.
sakes! Oh, for God's sakes, Captain Trek. They literally let their shields go to nothing, and it was like, oh, the weapons
Gee,
are inoperable. It's like, no shit, you fucking
thank you.
idiot!
I
It's like,
thought they
Exactly.
were
no
actually
shit,
going to
you
let that happen
fucking
too.
idiot! You let these people bombard you, and you're like, oh, I'm trying to just fucking knock out their fucking engines.
You know,
I
the
mean, it's
moment
been said in Star Trek many times. Target their engines. Target
Mhm.
yes.
their weapons.
What did she say?
For
She said
God's
target the warp
sakes.
core. She said target their fucking warp core because they were going to
Yeah,
blow them up.
target their war. How you gonna target that thing? It's in the fucking ship. You dumb ass. Oh my god. They are treating, I'm gonna say
The
this,
the
and I'm
moment
a
the
white guy,
moment
and I'm
that
a white guy here. They are treating their minorities like token garbage.
yeah the moment that they the moment where the captain was like, let's talk about this peacefully, and he was like, fuck you, and then like threw more garbage at
Oh
her.
god,
I
yeah.
would have been like, okay, I'd have been like, okay, we tried. Let's do this, before the freaking weapons go offline. Because yeah, like she screwed herself. She's actually a pretty bad captain.
Yep.
Well, no, she's a bad Catholic. She's like, how many people live on the planet? Two. What, two? Me and my wife. We're very rich. And she's like, blow up the damn thing. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, you really went this way. I'm like, you're not even. If you want to make a parody of Star Trek, freaking make it funny. I mean, we've seen parodies of Star Trek. We saw them on Saturday Night Live. We saw
Mhm.
them on Living Color. We saw them at various
Family
times.
Guy does a good job at them.
Family, Family Guy. I mean, you can do a parody of this stuff, but if this is supposed to be a parody, it's a shit ass parody. If this is supposed to be canon, fuck, I want nothing to do with
This
Star
is not.
Trek
This
anymore.
can't be canon. This can't be canon. This is too stupid to be canon. Like it's too unrealistic. It's too like stupid. I don't know. Like how do you okay? At one point that they have that guy do the ascension, and when he ascends, he learns that the universe is like a koala bear or something like that. In the end, I don't something stupid like that. No, if you're gonna make this canon, you're gonna make that canon. And there's a person named Jesse Gender, a YouTuber, who was very very stoked that that it was that they had made it that way.
Hey,
Hey,
Bears, you got a
Lex the
shout
Legend,
out, buddy.
thank you. Nice to see you.
Wi-Fi issue. Oh, that's understandable. They always
Oh
have.
yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Ah,
That's why
but
I got lost.
dude, you got a shout out, man.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Appreciate it.
Hey,
So,
guys,
what were we talking about? Star
oh
Trek, right?
god. Well, no, we're not really talking Star Trek. We're talking LDS. And
Yes.
Yes.
I think we are all big enough Star Trek fans and old enough to remember TOS, TAS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, and ENT. This is, in my opinion, the
That is Star
worst.
Trek.
Yeah,
That is
that
that
is
in the
Star Trek.
movies.
Yeah, that is Star Trek. I don't even mind the J.J. Abrams movies. I respect them for what they were because
At
they
least he
were
was
set in
honest with us.
an alternate timeline.
Yes.
Yes.
This show is so full of shit. I'm like, I thought STD was full of shit. I thought STP was bad. And
So far, I think the worst.
it's literally like LDS was like, hold my beer, let me show you how to fuck up a franchise. You
It's
can't
totally
even do a parody right.
it's a totally terrible show, but for totally different reasons than Picard and STD.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, one thing I've heard, you mentioned before about Q, and I know someone who seems to think Q is going to somehow save the show miraculously. I don't think so. I think it's going
Now,
to be a brief appearance and nothing more.
now, if he goes, I don't like this shit anymore, and the show's canceled. Okay,
Oh,
great.
I heard.
That would be
Oh
perfect.
God, I wanted
But
to
that's not
see
going to
that.
happen.
No.
Oh, I wanted Jack, Captain. I wanted to see that at the end of Picard. After Picard ended, and I was like, God, what did I just watch for 10 hours? I wanted to see John Lanscombe go, "Hey, Jean Luc, I'm tired of you."
Exactly.
Like I'm like, you know what? I gotta fix this shit because you are obviously fucked up, and I'm gonna fix it and snap. And then I was like, yes.
See,
No, instead
when he finally when he finally dies, and you go into his consciousness or whatever, and he meets with Data and he talks with Data and blah blah blah. Data should not have been in that scene. I love
no,
Data.
he should not have
He
been.
should not. He should not have been in that scene. He should not have been in that show.
No,
What they should have
absolutely
done
not.
is when he died, he meets with Q, because that's the end of his destiny, right? That's his destiny to finally pass that test.
Oh, wouldn't that have been something at least at the end to have John DeLance come back? Captain Trek, what do you think? If John DeLance came back and said, okay, uh, you know, Picard's dead, and he's like, I'm going to, I mean, who's to say that we couldn't have got Q to show up like what happened with Cisco for Picard? I mean, Cisco is now one of the prophets.
Prophets.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What it would have been like if I mean, Q could have done it. Q did it to Riker. He could have done it to
Mm-hmm.
Picard. He could have
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm gonna fix this shit. Oh god, that would have been so much better. At least it would have made
I
the
had a
ending better.
I had a fanfic in my head. I actually wrote it down in one of my Twitter things, but my the way I explained it was that this Picard is from the Nexus. From the Picard show, he's the one from the Nexus, and Q has decided to just kind of like observe him until he was old, and then he decided to give him one last test to see if to see if he can still pass it or whatever, because obviously he wasn't passing it, and so at the end of it all, like he dies, and this actually was I wrote this before the actual ending of Picard came out, but he dies and he ends up back on the Enterprise where he's having cards with data, doing cards
Deary.
with Data. Yeah, the D, where he's having cards with Data, playing cards, and then they start talking like normal, but then like Picard realizes what happened, and he kind of realizes that this isn't Data, and he goes, "Am I dead?" Which he actually does in that show. What I was hoping was that Data would turn into Q and be like, "Okay, the jig is up. You passed the test. You won, and your reward is this: A, you are now a Q. You can do whatever the fuck you want. B, I know what you actually want, and here's your crew." And they would have like the whole crew in uniform. You know what I mean? Which would be an awesome callback. And it would be like, this ship is now yours. You can go anywhere you want in the galaxy, anywhere you want in 1,000 galaxies. Stuff like that. You can go anywhere you want because you're a Q now. That we know that's what you really want. Enjoy, and then like have it like end that way. That was my
But
fanfic.
okay, ended it to end it out. Captain Trek, what do you think about that?
I like that idea a lot better than what was done. It just
They turn him into an android.
everything Generation 3 Trek has been a direct insult to Star Trek fans.
Agreed.
Damn right.
It feels like
And I'm
I
pretty
like that
sure,
generation.
I'm pretty sure that the three of us are Star Trek fans.
Hmm.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that generation idea. Generation 3, because the first generation was in the 60s, the second generation the 90s. This is the
Mhm.
third one.
80s and 90s.
The second generation treated the first generation like a respect, respectfully,
Right.
like a father that they loved, while the third generation is rebelling, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what the third generation is doing to Star Trek. They're giving this. They're saying,
Right.
hey, you see this? Hey, let's turn it up for you. They, first off, God, this was so painful, Jack. I saw your tweets and I was like, oh God, I know I'm going to hate this. And I watched both episodes today and I'm like, what the fuck am I
The fucking
watching? I'm
badger
like,
thing, dude.
oh
Uh,
God, it was painful. I mean, it was for me mentally painful. And I mean, my wife, even Madam Geek, walked in and was like, oh shit, you're only halfway through. I said, no, it's even worse than that. I said, I still have another episode to watch. Oh God. And I
Yeah.
watched both and I was like, so I don't get it. I don't know. When you sit there and say, well, this isn't made for you, Brie Larson, where
Who
she's
is
like,
it made for?
well, this ain't made for you. I'm a Star Trek fan. Who the fuck else are you gonna make this shit for? Jack,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be, we're gonna want you in, we're gonna want Captain Trek, and we're gonna want Star Trek fans, and we're gonna want people who know Star Trek, understand Star Trek, respect Star Trek. We're okay with a parody.
Buy their
We're
merchandise. Who buy their
Oh, I
merchandise.
got one of the oh nice. Oh no, I'm blowing you up, buddy. Gotta blow you up. Oh, I gotta figure out how to
Okay.
blow you up.
I'll keep it up.
How do I blow you? How do I blow you up?
Dynamite.
Oh, I got that. Hey, you know what? I got you.
Okay. Oh, there, you got a bigger one. Nice. Nice. I love that. Oh, that's awesome.
wow.
Yeah, mine's tiny, but
Oh,
I like it.
mine's tiny too. I need the bigger. Hey, you know what? That's great. Guess what else I got? Little
Oh,
runabout.
nice.
You'll like
You know what
this.
I recently ordered the Orville. Oh, the oh man, I love that. I
Oh.
love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I love it too.
Defiant. The
Yeah, the
Defiant.
Defiant. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. But you see, that's where the problem is, and this is where I don't think these idiots at CBS get this. When Star Trek came back in the 80s to TNG, um, Gene Roddenberry was very like, I don't want to repeat the same formula. I want to take my formula and modify it. And he
Mhm.
did. And he did it good. And then, we got DS9, which was, in my opinion, the masterpiece. Period. Yeah, you're never
That
gonna get me not to love this.
I
I
will say
mean,
I will always love TNG. It's always going to be kind of on top, on the number one in my heart. But number two is always going to be Deep Space Nine, because what I liked about it was that they took the idea of they took Gene Roddenberry's idea and they challenged it a little bit. You know what I mean? They challenged it, but Roddenberry's idea eventually prevails in it. You know what I mean? The optimism
yes, yes.
prevails in it.
And that's where one of the key things is Gene Roddenberry passed away and died during TNG, and
Yes.
DS9 was an experiment, and they were like, okay, we're gonna go a little outside of his vision, but we think we have something. and
But they still respected it.
they
Mhm.
freaking nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we got to Voyager, and we've all said, Voyager had its issues, even ENT had its issues, but
Not the best
they
show, but it
still
did
at
have
their
its
heart,
moments.
but at their heart and soul, they were still Star Trek.
Yes.
Whereas this STD, STP, LDS, I don't care. You can slap that logo Star Wars on it all you fucking want. As far as I'm
Trek.
concerned, this shit is not Star Trek.
No.
It's not. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. It doesn't. It doesn't follow its canon, its history. It doesn't respect its past. It's nothing like Star Trek, and its fans are nothing like Star Trek either.
No. Absolutely
No.
not.
No, they don't know
No,
what
and
they don't
that's
know what
what's
being Trek is about.
Well, here's the thing. I understand wanting to change. You need to adapt. They did that with the Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same. It had some similarities. It respected the original, but it allowed a new fan base to come in as well.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have
damn
done
right.
the same thing with what's going on now, where you respect the original, you respect the generation that came before, and bring in new fans,
Mm-hmm.
then it would be a good show.
Yeah, and I was, when Discovery first came out, I was expecting, they're going to have changes. Of course, it's a modern Star Trek, so there's going to be changes. And so it actually took me 3 episodes before I, was like, it took me 3 episodes before I realized that no, this is not the way to go. The first episode, I actually forgave a lot of shit, even the Klingons, the way they fucking looked. I was trying to forgive that. That was the one thing I could not forgive at the end. I tried and I failed. Couldn't work.
You know what? I couldn't forgive it because at the very beginning, it is all about honoring their dead and sending to the
They
gods.
don't do that.
I
No.
know my Klingon history. I may not be able to speak Klingon, but I damn know my Klingon history, and I know
Mm-hmm.
how Klingons treat a dead body, and I
Yes.
know that Klingon
It's an empty
history,
soul. It's an empty
they
shell now.
yes, it's an empty shell. Do what you want with it. And then when it's like, Worf even said, the Klingons killed their gods long ago. They were more trouble than they were worth.
And the only thing they do with their dead is right after they die, they drop down, hold their eyes open, and they yell to
Mm-hmm.
warn the gods that
To
they're
warn
coming.
Stavokor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you warn
Another
Stavokor.
warrior's coming
The
to
whole point
Stovacor.
of the
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole point of the screaming, the whole point of the yell, the whole point of opening the eyes is to give a warrior's death into the person to see. So they can see themselves being like, I'm there. I'm with
Mm-hmm.
you. You see me. And then they howl. They do that howl. And that is, as Data said, a warning to a Klingon warrior is coming.
Yep.
I mean, that is where when I first saw STD, and I know we're getting off LDS, and we're gonna end this channel. We're gonna
Yeah.
end this soon. We gotta end this soon because Captain Trek and I and Jack. I don't know about you, but we gotta probably get back to Loki's stream because he's doing the DC stuff. And oh my god, that shit, man! I thought this shit sucked. I'm seeing that, I'm like, God, I'm glad I'm around these guys because fuck, this shit sucks.
I'm
But
glad
I
I can
mean,
talk about it.
when you look at the Klingons, their history was very fleshed out in DS9 and TNG.
Mm-hmm.
And it got totally discarded in STD. And they were like, "Oh, I heard the Klingons grew their hair back." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
The,
I've seen
you know
Klingons
when
at war, for God's sakes. I
when
watched
they
Klingons try to take out Deep Space Nine, for fuck's sake.
when they showed the Klingons and they just gave them a new look for whatever the fuck reason. You know what they did was they took 2 episodes of Enterprise, and they completely obliviated their histories.
The
The episode,
augments. You're
yes,
talking
where
about the augments.
yes, and it was actually, in my opinion, it was, even though Enterprise wasn't the best Star Trek show, I thought their explanation as to why Klingons from TNG look different from the original series, I thought that was a good explanation. Like
Yeah.
it made sense. It fixed a continuity problem that was there from ever since Roddenberry decided to go with putting ridges on the Klingons in the motion
Motion
picture.
picture, yeah.
And,
Yeah, but
yeah,
let's remember this actually got answered in that DS9 episode with the Tribbles,
that's where it was first
where everybody
acknowledged.
asked about the Rectagino, and they're like
It wasn't
Klingons, and
answered.
everybody's like, and Worf is like,
It wasn't answered.
they
It was
look at,
acknowledged.
yeah,
Yeah,
Worf looks
it
at
was
him.
acknowledged.
It's a long story, but those are Klingons. We don't
Yes.
talk about it with outsiders. And here's the thing. I said this. It's a true fact. You're not necessarily going to know the history of every race. So
Right.
this is totally realistic that this happened 100+ years ago. That it could completely be realistic.
Yeah.
I think it was
Whereas
one of.
when we
I
get
think it was one of the good things that Enterprise actually did do. One of the good things that Enterprise did that I actually wish they would keep in canon, but it's not canon anymore because of what Discovery has done. Because of what Discovery has done, it doesn't matter.
I thought it
Because
was the
that's
most
supposedly the same
insulting
canon.
thing that Discovery even mentioned. Jonathan Archer was like, "Oh yeah, we haven't been to Kronos since Jonathan Archer." I'm like, "Oh my god, you fucking assholes!"
I mean, like that's them trying to connect things to the real world, to the real world, to the Star Trek world. But I think we all
Well,
know the
that's
truth.
like,
It's not part of the
well,
Star
that's
Trek
like
world.
trying to watch.
It's its own thing.
Well, that's like trying to watch Lower Decks. It's they drop all these. Remember, I mean, they drop Picard Day for fuck's sake. I mean,
Right.
who the fuck knows about Picard Day other unless you were on the Enterprise D for fuck's sake?
Right.
I'm like,
I even question why that Picard Day banner survived the Enterprise D crash.
Yeah.
Like, how did it make it? How did it make it to the museum? The Enterprise D blew up. They didn't take, or didn't. Yeah. Part of it blew up. The other part crashed. I'm sure it was either burnt or damaged, or somebody was like, Deanna Troy would
incinerated,
probably keep
maybe?
it.
I mean, it wasn't in fucking Ford, for fuck's sake.
Right. And
And
somebody
what's
tried to
the first
explain
thing
it.
it's gonna hit when it lands on the planet? 10 forward, you fucking morons!
Thank you. They don't get it. They don't get it. And so like you try to explain it, and then they try to debunk it, and they'll basically debunk it by being like, well, maybe Deanna Troy kept it and had it in storage, and then like when the Enterprise D blew up, she was able to retrieve it. Still, it survived somehow, even though it's made out of what looks like paper, and moved on. Moved on. I did see the banner. I did see the banner at the Picard Pop-Up Museum. It's not made of paper. It's made of fabric. But I do not think it's the same Picard banner from the original show. I think they recreated it for the Picard show.
Yeah.
So this is the whole thing. I mean, top it all off, we got this ensign who is like, oh, talks about Picard Day. But yeah, we got a guy who's sitting there like, Picard, Picard. You got the fucking Enterprise
Inconsistent.
right above your fucking head.
Inconsistent. Yes, it's so inconsistent. Because how are you going to have the Enterprise flying over your head, the Enterprise D, right? Like, you work there, you've probably seen that Enterprise D like 1,000 fucking times and probably looked up who the captain was at least, and then this old bald guy comes in and you don't fucking recognize him, who was just on television, on like intergalactic television like a week before. Kiss my ass.
Oh yeah, the fake news network that they
Yeah.
put up. Oh my
Yep.
god. Okay, guys, we're at an hour and 15 minutes. We're getting
Yeah,
past the
thank you.
All
timeline.
right.
I gotta cut this off. But guys, this was great. Thank you for this rant. I understand. Look, I know we're all huge Star Trek fans. I know we love this series. We love the shows. And that's why this is so painful for us.
It's
I mean,
heartbreaking. We're
yeah, it
heartbroken.
is heartbreaking. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is so heartbreaking. I was literally watching this. I'm like, I was watching those 2 episodes. I'm like, this is not Star Trek. This is not what Star Trek is. This is nothing like Star Trek. I thought STD was bad. I thought STP was bad. This is, in my opinion, this is the worst fucking Star Trek CBS has put out.
Yep.
And
I,
I
I,
bet
I hate I
money.
hate how they I just want to say I hate how they make fun of Star Trek things like censors. Like they made fun of the whole censor thing. Worf used to say censors all the time.
Mhm.
So did Tuvok. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
Captain Trek, I just read your private chat.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's
Uh,
getting about that time, but thank you guys for letting me come on. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for being on here, Captain Trek. You know I love having you around. Uh, so, final thoughts. This show sucks ass. There's
Yes.
unfortunately no fucking way around it. I wish there was. I actually wish to God I hadn't committed to watching all 10 episodes because, quite frankly, after watching these last two, I want to just throw my computer at the fucking wall. So I got Jack, Captain. I'm gonna be a little hard pressed to watch the next episode because I'm like, this is garbage. It's trash. This
We
is
only got
not
4
the
left.
Orville.
Or
This
less.
is not the
We're over the
Orville.
hump.
I'm sorry.
We're over the hump.
LDS.
We've done 6.
Hey, Star Trek Lower Decks. You're not the fucking Orville. And here's a
Nope.
news flash. You got 2 people from fucking Star Trek in the Orville. What do you got in this show? You got Jerry O'Connell. Okay, yeah, that's all you got.
Great guy, by the way.
Oh, great guy, by the way, but come on, man.
I get it. No, I agree. I agree. You know, he was
Cannot
responding to a
fire
lot
the
of
phasers. I'm like,
he was
God
he
damn.
was he was responding to STD Sucks' tweets for a little while, and I was wondering why, because it was like it's not going to. Yeah, that's not helping you, bro. He was nice though. He was very polite every time he did.
But the whole thing was like, can I fire the phasers? Can I fire the phasers? No, I'm not firing. I'm like, you
The
are the worst. I literally wanted to be like, I don't know if you're the jerk or if she is just the worst captain in Starfleet.
I think this is just a shitty crew. I mean, you have a bad captain that can't fucking figure shit out, is trying to like protect her daughter and stuff more importantly than anything else. You got a commander who I don't know. Like he seems like he's pretty close to being a decent Starfleet officer until he stabbed Marinette, even though that was hilarious.
Yes, that was that. Remember what I said? Captain Trek, if you didn't see this, I said this. That episode, I actually laughed when he finally stabbed Mariner. I was like, yes, I didn't care that it was supposed to be funny or not. All I care was I was like, I really want to see her get stabbed. And I was like, the only sad part was he stabbed her in the foot, not in the fucking chest.
Well, that if she stabbed her in the chest, that'd have been a court martial, I think.
True.
Not necessarily. She, disobeyed orders. You could have gotten away with it.
I think you would have gotten more away with it for stabbing her in the foot, just decapacitating her so she can't fuck him up. like, disobey his orders or anything. And then
She can't
he
fuck up the
to
mission.
his credit, he
She
went and
thought
he
like
actually succeeded. To his that character's credit, he went and he succeeded in what he was supposed to do. He beat that monster up and he freed his people.
that was actually the funniest part of the whole damn show was him beating up that guy, and I was like, okay, that was funny. I
And
admitted
then
it.
afterwards, he sent her to the brig because of the sleeve
Yes,
thing.
yes. I was so
I
happy. And she's like cussing, like you motherfucker. I'm like,
I'm gonna kill
bitch.
you.
I'm like, shut up, bitch. I know how this
Yeah.
sleep thing. I mean, you and I both know Jack, and I can't speak for Captain Trek because I don't know if Captain Trek is there, but we know how the sleep rule works.
Yes. They got to be tight.
Oh yeah.
They got to be tight.
And they can only be up or down per either.
Seasonal.
Well, for me, it was usually the base commander when I was in the
For
Marine
for
Corps.
for us, it was seasonal. When it was
Yeah, seasonal, but
when
the
it was the
base
fall and
commander made
winter.
that decision.
Okay, well, for us, it was seasonal. So for the fall and winter, like it was a certain day, we would have the long sleeves, and then for the spring and summer, we would have the short sleeves, where we would have to roll up the sleeves ourselves and make sure they were nice and tight.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. This girl is literally the worst officer in all of Starfleet.
She
And
shouldn't be an
when I
officer.
sit
She
there and
shouldn't be in
say, it's like,
Starfleet.
oh, everyone's like, oh, you break the rules, but at your heart, you're Starfleet. I'm like, no. Captain
No, I thought it
Picard
was
was
bullshit
at
too.
his heart Starfleet because Captain
Yes.
Picard, when he had the drumhead trial, and that admiral that retired him out, him breaking the prime directive, he's like, I have explained to Starfleet Command my reasons for this.
Yes, every time he did. And so what I liked about that was that it sounded like they were going to go to like a point by point every time he broke the prime directive, and then he would have to sit there and explain it in court. But what he did instead was he said all of those have been explained if you just do the research, basically.
And the admiral even said, oh, yes, we're reviewing them. We'll probably have more questions. But I mean, when we're talking about Star Trek, when we go from things like Balance of Terror, Doomsday Machine, Measure of a Man, the Drumhead Trial, and this shit? Oh my god. I mean, come on. We watched come on. They brought an episode up where the first officer committed mutiny. And then at the end of the show, she gets a fucking medal and gets her rank back. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
even Admiral Kirk didn't. Sorry, I said Picard. I meant Kirk. Even Admiral Kirk didn't get that.
No, he didn't. He mutinied, and he got demoted to captain, which is how that type of shit works. He went and stole the Enterprise. He got it destroyed and came back with the, what happened. And in the end, he was demoted. You know,
Yeah, he was
if he
demoted,
was
and they said,
if he was promoted at that point, people would be calling bullshit. Everybody who was in the
well,
military would be calling bullshit. But no, he
well.
was
Remember what
demoted
they
to
said
captain,
at the end
which
of
was supposed
episode.
to be a punishment. But we all know it was secretly like what Kirk really wanted to be was a
Kirk
captain.
wanted exactly.
Yeah,
And when you really look at it, they said all charges but one have been dismissed, and it was because of the whole, what they did in Star Trek 4, and they said,
right.
disobeying direct orders from a superior officer, and it said we are solely putting that on you, and he accepted his demotion.
Right.
Which, of course, that's really, I mean, at the end of the day,
That's
that's what he
Starfleet.
wanted.
That's
Yeah,
Starfleet.
but this chick
Yeah.
is, she got demoted. She's like, oh, this is a lieutenant, and she's attracted to this guy. Wait a minute, why is she attracted to him? Why is she sexually active with him? There's something wrong here. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching here?
I mean,
And then it turns out he
just
has a
because of
fucking parasite on his back of his head, and I'm like,
which
oh yeah.
proves Mariner's point that Boimler is like some sort of disgusting person that nobody would ever want to date. Bullshit. I
Oh bullshit! By the end of this series, they're gonna fuck.
Oh, Mariner and Boimler.
They're gonna
Nah,
fuck. They're gonna fuck.
they might get
Captain
together.
Trek,
They might
dude,
get together.
what do you think, Captain Trek? Do you think
I don't
Mariner
think that's the
and
direction,
they're
but
gonna fuck?
that's possible.
I don't think so. I think she'll find somebody else, but they might.
I don't think that's the direction they're going to go.
No.
I
I
don't
think
even
that
think they know the direction they're gonna go in.
I think they made it clear when she and the ex girlfriend of Boimler were talking, and he's like, yeah, he's a nerd, but he's my nerd. It's like she sees him as like a toy.
Yeah.
Well, you see, here's the problem here with that. She called him a nerd. Well, we're
I don't
nerds,
know.
we're
I don't know if it was
geeks.
nerd, but
And I'm like,
it might
no,
have been
we
geek.
don't act like that. Nerds and I've known more than my fair share of nerds and geeks. I hang out with them plenty a bit. I got two of them in the fucking street. We don't act like this.
No.
I don't act like that. I know that.
Fuck no. All right, hey everybody, we got a little over time, but that's okay. I love it.
Well, it's been a few weeks, so it's kind of nice that we were
Yeah,
able to
you
air
know
it
what?
here.
Hey, it's okay. It's been a few weeks, but you know what? I love this. I may hate the show, but as I've always said, and Jack, you know this, and I've said this to you, I may hate this freaking show, but I love getting to discuss it. Captain Trek, thank you for coming in. I always appreciate you coming around. I
Thank you
know
so
you
much.
know that. Jack Beers, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for
Hope you
having
had
me.
a great day. Do either of you have anything coming up, guest streams or promoting streams that you want to plug in?
I don't really have anything other than what we're planning. Um, I have DS9 here. That's all. I am way too much beer on Twitter. Way too much beer.
You got to do a lot of mopping, man. All those tears you get from those people. I've seen you, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all are really out of your. I
Did you
always
see my
tell
stuff
people,
with
I'm like,
Ket? Did you see my stuff with Ketwalski?
yes.
Like recently, like we had a whole like day where we argued with each other because I was trying to explain to him that what he did was more negative on himself than on Doomcock. You know what I mean? He was, he wants to be an investigative journalist. That's how he was described. That's how he likes to be described or whatever. But, investigative
Journalism.
journal.
What the hell is that in this country?
You know what Ket did, right? He faked some news and put it on 4chan so that Doomcock could talk about it. And when he did, like he claimed victory, even though Doomcock always claims these things are rumors. And then he,
he tried. Oh shit!
And
He
so
tried to be a troll.
So I try to explain to him that like what he did actually like is more like it hurts him more than it hurts Doomcock, because Doomcock is not making this stuff up. But now we learn that that Ket is making stuff up. So I like him. I like Ketwalski. Like I loved his videos before 2017 when Discovery came out. He made some really good videos, really good Star Trek videos. And then after 2017, a lot of it started to turn into, like defending Star Trek. And then it went from defending Star Trek to like attacking YouTubers. And that's where I kind of like drew the line.
All right, folks, for anybody who sees this stream later, understand something. Captain Trek, myself, and Jack Beers here. We are not going to give you shit if you like the show. We
No.
are going to, whether you like LDS Star Trek Picard or Star Trek
If you like the
Discovery.
shows, that's fine.
If you like them, that's fine. You are more than welcome to tell us why you like them. Accept the fact that we don't like them and that we're going
Thank
to
you.
tell you why we don't like them. But
Thank
we
you.
can walk
And
away being respectful. We can like things and not like things. We all have that in life.
Hmm.
So, yes, do I like
which
the
is
current?
one of the things I like about Ket. By the way, I'm going to defend him for like 1 second. He can explain himself like an adult. He doesn't troll you. He's not trying to be he's not trying to be he doesn't realize what he's doing. But I think in every other aspect of his life, he's probably like the most wonderful guy
There's
because
always a
he's
possibility.
approachable. He's approachable. He's a nice guy. So I don't want to completely shit on him. I just want to say that what he did in this instance was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with calling that stuff out. I mean, like I said, we're not here to bash fans of these shows. We are here to talk about those shows. And yeah, when we don't like something, we're going to talk about it. If you call us haters, I'm sorry. We're not haters. We don't hate on you. We're not going to attack you. We're not going to be like, you're a piece of shit because you like these shows we don't like. We're going to
No,
be inquisitive and be like, if you come into our realm and be like, okay, well, what do you like about the show? We're going to inquire about it. And, then the problem comes in is when it's, well, what don't you like about them? And then we tell them and they're like, oh, you
they
don't
get
understand.
defensive.
Yeah, exactly.
And here's
So,
the thing: when you tell us what you don't like about Roddenberry, like we agree, like Roddenberry wasn't the best man. You know what I mean? When it came to like, a lady, being with the ladies and stuff, like he wasn't the best person, but he was a visionary. He had an idea. He had a great idea, and he was able to execute those ideas. And at least for that, he should be respected forever. You can like and dislike aspects of a person and still respect them as a human being. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And
Exactly.
yeah, just because Roddenberry wasn't perfect doesn't mean that you should change every aspect of Star Trek to be more like your vision because you think you're a better person. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm going to do this.
Okay, mic drop.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Mic drop right there. Captain Trek, do you have anything coming up before we close it out?
No, well, I do have the regular Thursday mornings with Loki on his stream where we're doing
Oh,
Farscape.
you're. I didn't realize you were a big Farscape fan. That's awesome.
Actually, not. Well, I am now, but I wasn't.
Oh, I got the entire series and the mini series, the TV movie. I have them. I actually was fortunate enough to get them after the fact. I got into the show afterwards because I didn't have sci-fi at that point. But no, that's great. Uh, guys, it's been fun. I have enjoyed this. I love this panel. I love hanging out with you guys. And folks, if you're out there, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be very clear. I cannot speak for other people and how they do their streams. My streams are almost always because of these people here. However, I can do my fingers here because I'm trying to do my camera. But I stream because these people are freaking awesome. These people are fantastic. They bring their A game every damn time. And I love it. And I thank you both for being here. And I'm gonna run my outro real quick as soon now. And hey everyone, thank you for coming in. If you've been here, if you see the stream later, I hope you enjoy it. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper.
Fuck yeah.